Welcome to The Soft Life with me, Candy Washington, where we explore all things self-love, manifestations, and relationships with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. So be sure to subscribe, share, and join us on Patreon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's key, which is Andy Cohen spilling the tea on Lisa Rinna quitting, then being fired, trying to return. Was she the source of a lot of the leaks on Beverly Hills? And then he's also talking about if her and Erika were behind a lot of the spoilers and everything that came out. So let's dive into the mess. But before we do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and share. Join our newsletter down below. So with that, let's dive right on in. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Andy Cohen addressed Lisa Rinna's departure from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in his recently released book, The Daddy Diaries, The Year I Grew Up. Months after Lisa confirmed her exit from the series, Andy revealed that she did, in fact, quit the show after the season 12 reunion, before opening up about the moments that followed and admitting that he questioned whether or not she and Erika Jayne had leaked stories to the press after Kathy Hilton's meltdown in Aspen. On the May 11th episode of the SiriusXM's Smith Sisters Live, which airs on Andy's Radio Andy channel, that's a lot. The host wondered if the Watch What Happens Live host had noticed that there had been far fewer leaks since Lisa left the show. I also have the clip of this, so we'll go through it and then we'll listen to the clip. Well, it's funny because the days leading up to me getting my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I write in the book. Because Rinna, they all just get back from Aspen 2 days before, I get my star, and Rinna is blowing up my phone, and she's like, I'm going to put Kathy on blast, and I need to. I know this didn't happen on camera, but I'm really upset, Andy shared. According to Andy, around this same time, there were tons of stories leaked to the press about what had gone down with Kathy and Aspen. Concurrently, there's also these leaks about what happened in Aspen, and I was saying to her and Erika, like, are you leaking this? And they're like, no, Andy revealed, noting, it's all very confusing. Side note, it's not confusing, Andy Cohen, and learn how to speak English because reading your quotes is very difficult. Anyway, let's break this down a little bit before we go on. Number one, duh. Of course, Lisa Rinna and Erika Jayne were behind the Kathy Hilton leaks. That was already confirmed on the season finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in the last season, when Kyle finally found her voice and was like, hey, we know that the leaks is coming from Erika Jayne's publicist, her PR person, who, as we all know, has a kind of a shady reputation for, if their client is in a dumpster fire, they build a bigger dumpster fire for people to look at. So they're not looking at their client's dumpster fire. And that dumpster fire is Erika Jayne, the Girardi lawsuits, this, that, and the third. And we know that, of course, Lisa Rinna, the ringleader of this weird situation, wanted to have relevancy. She wanted a storyline. She wanted to bring down Kathy Hilton. She wanted to bring down Kyle Richards. She wanted to be the HBIC in Beverly Hills. And she wanted to be relevant. And she thought that if I bring Kathy down, I'll be relevant. I'll have a storyline. If I expose her for being so horrible, this horrible homophobic racist Kathy Hilton, then I'll be like some hero. I'll be so woke. And it's like, no, Lisa Rinna, first of all, you took a situation where I don't even like calling it a meltdown. I think Kathy Hilton she tapped out. She was at capacity. Her little sister Kyle is doing the absolute most. Her little friends, Ding Dong Dorit and Snake Lisa Rinna and Evil Erika Jayne are, picking and poking and prodding, having snide remarks, little comments here and there, putting her in the bunk bed room, tried to clown her with her tequila and all of that stuff. She was just at capacity. And I get that. As a human being, I would be tapped out too. And it would take you saying one thing and I'm going to pop off because it's too much. It's too much. Adding in all the other stuff the dark stuff, like the homophobia and the like, it was just, they were doing the absolute most. And I still think Lisa Rinna exaggerated and lied about the whole situation because she wanted to be relevant, and it turned around and it blew up in her face. So Andy, I don't know what you mean about confusing. It's pretty damn clear to me what happened. Okay? But let's keep going. But while the host alluded to Lisa being behind those leaks, and thus the reason why there have been nearly no leaks about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13, Andy wouldn't confirm. I don't know, he replied. Okay, this is what I think about that. Do I think that Lisa Rinna and Erika Jayne were doing the majority of the leaks? 100%. But I also think other people have leaked before. I think that people leaking stories to the press, particularly when they're actors or musicians or models or Instagram people or reality stars, like that's nothing new under the sun, which is why Puppygate, when they tried to go so hard for Lisa Vanderpump, was such a joke. Like all of them have called paparazzi on themselves. All of them have leaked stories to the press. So it was just the most hypocritical, ridiculous thing that they were trying to crucify Lisa Vanderpump for doing it or not doing it. At this point, who cares if she did or she didn't? Doesn't matter. What I think is that the reason why there is no leaks for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13 isn't because it was only coming from Lisa Rinna and Erika Jayne, but because since Lisa Rinna was fired and put on pause, and since they were exposed for the leak, I think everyone's been put on notice. Like, listen, if you're leaking and you get caught, you're going to be put on pause or fired just like Lisa Rinna has been. There's going to be consequences. So I don't think it was only coming from them, but I think because it was exposed and it was such a big deal. And I think also now with social media and blogging and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and leaked scenes and also the producers are struggling to keep up with us because we're getting, there's Dumas and everybody else. So we're getting all of this information first. And then now, and we're talking about it now in real time, by the time it actually airs on the show, it's old news. So I think this is the producer's way of trying to keep the show in real time relevant and have things to talk about. And I think that's why we're not getting the amount of leaks we used to get, because they've been put on notice. Okay, let's keep going. In the Daddy Diaries, The Year I Grew Up, Andy opened up about Lisa's decision to walk away from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in an excerpt written on September 9th, 2022. After confessing he was dreading reunion day amid rage from impassioned fans who hoped to see him put Lisa, Erika, and Kyle Richards on blast for their claims against Kathy, Andy said what took place at the taping was so sad, layered, and deep. By the end of the day, it had me wondering what the point of it all really was. Garcelle Bouvet turned to me a couple of times as Kathy and Kyle were at odds and says, "Why are we doing this?" he shared. I hate when family becomes collateral damage on the housewives, and I had the same pit in my stomach at the end of the day as I did in early seasons with Kyle and Kim, and several times in New Jersey, he continued, noting that Lisa's relationship with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills seemed to be just as irreparable as Kathy and Kyle's relationship at the end of the filming. Andy received a text from Lisa Rinna as he and his fellow producers wondered if there was a path forward for Lisa after wrapping. "I got a text from Rinna after midnight saying she's leaving the show and 8 years was a good run," he recalled. "It sure was. She's smart to leave now. It absolutely feels right. I wish she could have gone on a better note, but I'm not sure that this is the last of this discussion." And it wasn't. On September 16th, just 1 week later, Andy said that after some back and forth with the team, Lisa appeared to have a change of heart and wanted to return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It kind of seems like Rinna isn't quitting. Based on some correspondence with the team, this is going to be a journey on both sides, he wrote. However, by October, following Rinna being booed at BravoCon, the decision was no longer her choice, as producers felt like it was best for her to leave. So, confirming that she was fired, because I'm going to get into this in a little bit. Okay. Andy wrote, "I think Lisa should go on pause, but absolutely come back. Feels like she has a toxic relationship with the show at this point, and taking a breath away could do everyone good." Andy then added in his epilogue, "We mutually agreed with Rinna that she should take a break from the show. This is a real pause." All right. Now let's listen to the clip that he said that he did on the show, and then I'll get into what I think was going on with Lisa Rinna after the reunion and the quitting and the firing and all of that stuff. All right, so let's listen.
You thought of the New York Housewives as being like the leakiest, cast.
Yeah.
And then there are recent, rumors, people saying that not really anything has leaked from this season of Beverly Hills and Rinna's gone. Do you see a correlation?
Well, it's funny because in the days leading up to me getting my star, I write in the book because Rinna, they get back from Aspen 2 days before I get my star. Yeah. And Rinna is blowing up my phone and she's like, I'm going to put Kathy on blast and I need to. And I know this didn't happen on camera, but I'm really upset and whatever. And concurrently, there's all these leaks about what happened in Aspen. And and I was saying to her and Erika, like, are you leaking this? Like, and they're like, no. And it was all very confusing what was going on then. And so I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you think about the tea that I spilled about Rinna quitting the show after the Beverly Hills reunion?
That was wild to me because I had understood the narrative as her having been fired, and I was mind blown when she texted immediately that night after the reunion being like, I'm out. But then it was like, actually no, I'm not. And then it's like, well, now you're on pause. It was so chaotic.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Chaotic.
I think she immediately regretted what she had done. And that's something, it's like, if you're moving that erratically in that sort of moment, you need it to be on pause, fired, quit. So like, whatever word you want to use, that needed to happen.
Yes.
Man,
it also
I'm shocked she didn't
like
publish the text.
Yeah, it seemed like she wanted to be begged to come back or something like that. I don't know if it was like a move. I don't know. I was so surprised by that BTS.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I concur. I think that Lisa Rinna was in her feelings because Kathy Hilton snatched all of her edges and left no crumbs and read her for filth. And I think that Lisa Rinna was in her feelings because her whole diabolical plan blew up in her face. Kathy Hilton became the queen of Beverly Hills. She was the HBIC. Garcelle was the HBIC in charge, and all of her plans blew up in her face. And I think that after the reunion, she was in her feelings. She probably realized that the producers were seeing through her and they were not on her side. The reunion did not go her way. And so it's like when you're in a relationship and you feel like the guy or the girl is going to break up with you. So you break up with them before they break up with you to try and do reverse psychology to get them to beg for you back. But the gag is they're like, okay, cool. I'm good. See ya, That's what I think happened here. I think Lisa Rinna was in her feelings because Kathy read her for filth. And then I think that she knew that she was on the chopping block. So it was a power play that blew up in her face. And so the producers were like, okay, cool. You fired. We're going to fire you anyway. This is perfect. And then when, the bills came in and the cold day of sunlight got on her face, she was like, wait a minute. This also is blowing up in my face. I actually don't want to quit. I want to come back, this, that, and a third. Clearly it was a power play that blew up in her face. And producers were like, no, we were going to fire you anyway. You were in your feelings and you quit. Well, bye-bye. Go ahead, say it's mutual, but we all know the deal here. So I think that's probably what happened, just like Andy said, and just like the ladies on the show said, it was a power play that blew up in her face. It's like if you break up with someone who didn't want to be with you in the first place as a power play, come on. Same thing with Lisa Rinna. I'm leaving the show. I think she thought they'd be like, no, Lisa, we need to have you. You're the pot stirrer. We'll get rid of Kathy. We can't lose you, Lisa. And they were like, cool. Anyway, moving on. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest ego punch, where you think you have this sort of trump card, well, I'm leaving you, I'm quitting. And the other person or the producers are like, okay, bye. Oh, Lisa, oh, Lisa, oh, Lisa. So with that, you guys, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. What do you think about Lisa, sort of being in her feelings and acting irrationally, doing the power play of, quote, quitting, and then turning around and being like, psych, can I take it back? And the producers being like, nope, you're still fired. Put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. And what do you think about the leaks situation? How there's no leaks this season. I think it was because the leaks were primarily coming from Lisa and Erika, but I think everybody else was put on notice to zip it. You know what I'm saying? So put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, like and share. So that, you guys, I will talk to you later. Bye. Welcome to The Soft Life with me, Candy Washington, where we explore all things self-love, manifestations, and relationships with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. So be sure to subscribe, share, and join us on Patreon.